G'day trendsetters, I'm in Adel, Georgia today. Before I kick my ride off, I'll give you a quick tour of the town. On the left is the Sawega building, which happens to be the Chamber of Commerce building for Adel and Cook County. They always pick the coolest buildings for the Chamber of Commerce, and rightly so. As you can see, it's pretty overcast today, which should bode well for my ride, cooler temperatures, etc. Okay, it's time to ride. We've got about 148 kilometers or 91 miles ahead of us of some pretty cool roads, I hope. Here are some of the beautiful historic homes that are close to downtown Adel. According to the establishment on the right, loads of fun laundry. I personally hate folding the washing afterwards. I did pack today a rain jacket just in case. Fingers crossed I don't need it. Well, we've found our first abandoned building of the day. Looks like it was an old petrol station. I could look around inside, but that's trespassing, which I do sometimes, but not today. It's abandoned petrol station day today. Here's another one. As an FYI, I do get a kick out of abandoned buildings. Here we are, folks, the first dirt and gravelly road of the day. One of many. In this part of the world, there's plenty of red clay roads. And historically, they have a tendency to be rather sludgy after rain, during rain, etc. It rained here recently, but I think there's been enough time. Lovely house. Drying time to not bog me down. Oh, you're grumpy. Oh, settle down. Grumpy poo-poo pants. Yeah, he's a bad boy, isn't he? Yeah, beat his ass. Beat his ass. Railway fans, this piece of track here is in dire need of replacement. So the railway company has got themselves a bunch of tyres laid around the place. Ultimately, they're going to visit pretty soon with their track maintenance crews and get it all sorted out. That's the fact of the day. Here's something interesting, folks. I'm riding one of my personal bikes today, which I'll show you a little later on, but it's part of a review I'm running with Rotor's in-power single-sided power meter. I'm usually not a fan of such devices, but when they offered me to review the product about a year ago, I said, why the hell not? I always believe in long-term reviews because electronics and such, they often have a habit of pooping out. It would seem I've stumbled across the local airport. It's a small airport, as you can see from the one little plane parked over there but an airport nonetheless. I'm flanked either side by beautiful wetlands. And I've got a full-on block headwind right now, bloody hell. Some of you folks may be wondering why I use two computers. I don't always do it, but when I'm on these long rides, it's nice to have one set to the map screen and one set to the stats. Mostly I can see how many calories I'm burning and try and eat enough food accordingly. Now, I don't ride by heart rate or power, even though there is a power meter on this bike. I always ride by feel. I know from riding for almost 30 years, if I feel like crap, no power meter is going to do much about that. I do always keep my heart rate stats, but it's not like I'm going back and looking at them over the annals of time. Just something to do, I guess. But I like to ride free, unfettered, and keep it fun. You should too. This part of the world features mucho farmland. Just looking at those crops right there, I think those are collard greens or Jacinto kale. I'm not going to go poke around, I don't want to get in trouble, but those are good greens, delish. In fact, it is Jacinto kale. That is such good stuff. Little known fact, trendsetters, I love me some smoothie action. I have one of those Vitamix blenders, I bought it years ago, so worth the cash. If you have a dodgy diet sometimes, put some goodies in there, helps restore your health so you have a glowing personality and aura about you, maybe. If you love broccoli, there's a massive field's worth right there. Wow. And the next gravelly road beckons. A freshly ploughed field awaits some future crops. Thus far, I've ridden about 20 k's, 21 k's. Number of cars seen on these roads? 1. You have to love that. Here's my Steve for today. One of my personal bikes, and the bike I rode as my Plan A bike, the 2019 Dirty Kanza. There is the Rotor in-power single-sided power meter. And I've got some very sweet Industry 9 CRX, no, they're not called that. They're called Ultralight 235 CX TRA or something like that. I always get that wrong with this wheel set. It's quite a mouthful, but that point aside, I reviewed those wheels a while ago on the Gravel Cyclist website and YouTube channel, and I will link that in the description below. You might notice they've got green and gold spokes to match my beautiful kit, the Founders Edition, the Aussie Founders Edition. On the right side of the road we have another field of kale, this time curly kale. There's something for everybody around here. This wind is an absolute bloody mongrel. It seems to be switching around all over the place. And I've got a long way to go. That's okay, because I'm outside, I'm unfettered, and I'm free to ride my bike, which I am so thankful for. I especially want to give a quick shout out to my friends in Spain, Italy, France, Panama, and other places of the world that are currently locked down with COVID-19. I know you guys are all stuck inside riding trainers, that sucks, but at some point in time I hope you can all ride again outside and enjoy the freedom of riding your bike on the gravel roads. Get a gander of this road, will you? This is what I'm talking about. Red clay, tree tunnel, beautiful. This is looking so far to be a really nice route. And remember folks, I just plan my routes the night before often and hope for the best. I don't follow other people's routes. Getting lost, exploring is all part of the fun. This has to be a turf farm on the right. That is some immaculate lawn. Wow, you could probably play cricket on that, or lawn bowls. On the right we have a dilapidated country mansion with adjacent barn. have no clue what the river is named. Sorry. A 2% grade doesn't sound like much. Fighting a headwind right now, full-on block headwind. Open farmlands and green produce as far as the eye can see. You know, you might be living in America when right behind you is a monster truck and it's promoting the 6th annual Spank the Monkey Mud Racing Fest, hosted by the Southern Berlin Mud Ranch. Gravel Cyclist is worldwide. It's a multicultural affair, and as such, I'm about to enter the town of Berlin, Georgia, as opposed to Berlin, Germany. Once I roll into the centre of town or thereabouts, I'll give you a quick tour. There's an old abandoned storefront right there. Looks like a pretty solid structure. Oh no, the roof's collapsed. And there's an angry dog behind me. There's the classic water tower you expect to see in most of these small towns. And there's the police car. And there is one of the bastions of American society, the United States Postal Service. And this is the City Hall of Berlin. There's a police car parked out there. There's City Hall. Established in 1910 according to the sign. Let's poke around one of the back streets here of Berlin. Thanks for having me, Berlin. We continue onward to the next gravel sector, and another town awaits us not too far away. Currently I'm on a forest road somewhere. Either side I'm flanked by pine trees. Definitely another pine plantation. To be expected, the road surfaces are pretty loose. It has rained here, as I said earlier, recently, so it's not as sandy as it could be. But usually these sorts of roads are veritable sand pits caused by all the trucks going back and forth and trashing the bloody road. And today I'm riding some very narrow tyres, relatively speaking. Panama Gravel King SK. This is a 35mm model. They measure out to about 38mm on the Industry 9 wheel set. And you might be thinking, John, why the hell are you doing that, mate? Well, I wanted the wheels to look good with these tyres, an all blacked out effect. Depending on where you live in the world, a freshly graded road can be good news or bad news. In this instance, right now, it's good news. Now, how is this for a view? Absolutely stunning, gorgeous trees. I don't know how old they are, but wow, amazing. You never really see this sort of stuff astride a road bike. It's one of the many reasons why I love riding gravel bikes. I started this crazy malarkey way back in 2005, 2006. And I haven't looked back since. Looks like you're friendly after all, huh? Yeah, you're just being silly. Nice. Nice. Come over here, you gooses. There's nothing wrong. Come on, come over. Come on, say hello. Come and say hello. Look at this one here. What a bloody sook. Come here. Come here. Come here, beauty. Come here. Come here. Come on, sweetie. Oh, you're sweetie. Yeah, there you go. Have a sniff. See, no one's going to hurt you. No, you're a good baby, you are. You're a good baby. All right, sweetie, I better get riding, okay? On the right behind the hedge, it might be a wheat field. Those crazy dogs still following me back there. Look at them back there running along. They need to go home. You saw then how I generally try and handle doggies during these rides. It doesn't always go to plan like that. I've had some aggressive dogs. I try not to harm them at all. I usually take an aggressive tone, try and show them who's the boss. I'm not afraid of dogs. It helps quite a bit. They're pretty perceptive little buggers. Most of the dogs I run into along these roads, they're more interested in having a play and just trying to mess with you. They're often cheeky little buggers. The next town along the route is Ellington, Georgia. I'm about 40 miles into my route so far. I might stop here for a quick refill of some water. I've already blown through one entire bottle. Though I do have another town, it's not too far away, about another 20 k's. Let's see, I'll make a decision here shortly, but I'll try and get some video of the town so you can check it out for yourself. We're entering town now, and this facility seems to have plenty of clay road material. Maybe they repair roads. And here is a local gas station establishment. And if you ever travel through the south, Hunt Brothers Pizza is a pretty well-known fixture in this area. There'd be the water tower of Ellington, Georgia. Now here's the old city jail circa 1944. That's pretty cool. Let's do a complete lap of the jail. The windows do have bars on them at the back. On the left side we have Ellington City Hall. And this really cool old house with a tin roof. I love that sort of architecture, tin roofs. And back onto the proper side of the road here in America, we have an old like cottage shack type thing. It's mounted on bricks. That's a pretty common thing to see in this part of the world. Excellent fire going there. Some nice cacti. On the outskirts of town right now, heading towards the next town, which is Omega, Georgia. Today's ride is brought to you by caffeine-free JOM, not recommended. Usually I have a caffeine-laced beverage before I start rides of this nature. Today, barring one gel I've had, I'm off the caffeine. But that's going to change when I enter the next town. More than likely I'm going to murder a bloody Coke. Well, trendsetters, it seems that I might have a favourable tailwind for a short few Ks. This was unplanned, and I never ever planned my routes to have the tailwind so it pushes me home, because you cannot ever do an event or a race like that. I just plan the route and hope for the best in terms of the weather and everything else. Now I have no idea the name of this river, estuary, creek, etc. Rolling into another beautiful covered section of road. The temperatures today are quite warm, noticeably warmer than when I rode last weekend. It's about 30 degrees Celsius, so about 82 Fahrenheit. That's pretty nice, but again, it gets a bit niffy when you're riding along by yourself and dealing with the adversity of riding into the wind. Although it's good adversity, wouldn't have it any other way. isn't a road sign you encounter too often. Irrigation, squiggly roads, 25 mile an hour speed limit, or 40 k's an hour if you're of metric persuasion. So that means my bicycle, the treadly, as we call it in South Australia, might get squishy or it might not. Good afternoon. Mama's checking me out. Hey Mama. Alright girls and lads, we'll see you later. I think I've started a minor stampede as I roll away. I'm finally on the outskirts of Omega, Georgia. I think I'm about 1.5 k's or just under 1 mile from the downtown proper. This is not the first time I've visited this nice little town. I quite enjoy exploring the desolate roads of southern Georgia and middle Georgia and northern Georgia. Well, here we are folks, into Omega proper. This is part of the old downtown. Okay, we're going to take a right hand turn here. It does say wrong way. Mind you, I'm on a bicycle, so it's probably okay. And look at that, Omega is the world's plant centre. I'm not sure what plants they're talking about, but there you go. And there is Omega City Hall. This doesn't look suspect. Let's go inside the shop and get some goodies. Here we have a suitable pile of rehydration crap. No judgment please, whatever works. And you can see all of my gear is covered in a fine red dust. That's an indication you've been riding the red clay roads of Georgia. Let's whack a couple of hydration tabs in that water right there. Get some fizziness going on, some rehydration goodness for the road. Time to enjoy a little bit of hydration before the journey resumes. I'll give you more of a tour around Omega once I finish chugging this stuff. Here we are poking around the back streets of Omega, Georgia, and I feel a lot better, markedly better, that I've rehydrated with plenty of caffeine and other garbage. I think I have approximately, let's have a look here, 53 kilometers still to ride. Hola! A couple of nice friendly locals riding about their golf cart. This is an odd structure, looks like something to do with telecommunications. I really don't know. No, it's probably a water tower with something funky on top. Not a clue really. Maybe someone can tell me. I sincerely hope I've got a tailwind heading home. As I said earlier, I've mostly had bloody hairwind. Builds a lot of character. It kind of grinds you down obviously. Fingers crossed. By the way, if you need any firewood, this bloke's got plenty to hand out. A couple of logs, a couple of limbs, a couple of stumps. We're on the outskirts now of Omega, and riding past on the right hand side, another bastion of American society, the Dollar General. I'm feeling pretty amazing right now. It's amazing what that bloody caffeine and sugar does for your constitution. Whew. The feel from the legs is a sure sign I've been riding the gravelly roads for several hours. Even though the temperature's in the 80s Fahrenheit, it's quite cloudy. keeping the heat to a minimum. This route just keeps giving and giving. Oh man. Fantastic. I really hope the folks who are watching this video, you get out onto your local roads, or not so local. Don't be afraid to ride away from town, go explore, get lost, make an adventure out of it. Post some photographs, that sort of thing, everyone loves that. And on the left, we have the remnants of an old farmhouse. There are now trees surrounding it, but all that remains is the fireplace. Let's see if this bloke slows down. If he's a nice person, he'll slow down. He slowed down. Good on you. Being chased by crazy dogs. Exhibit A before you is an abandoned house. It looks in pretty good shape, but it backs up to the local tip or dump or landfill. So there's probably a reason why no one's living there anymore. I would have left as well. But imagine giving directions to this place. Yeah, mate, just look for the dump. I'm right next door. This is akin to a gravelly, tree-lined, tree canopy, tree tunnel boulevard with no vehicles. Oh, I've got some serious washboard. Oh, corrugations. Oh, yeah. Whew. Here we go. Yo. Well folks, my caffeine and sugar-induced buzz has well and truly worn off. However, I'm within striking distance of my start location of Adel, Georgia. There's the interstate to my left. Apparently I'm rolling into historic Staunton, Georgia. Didn't even think about this place on the map. Let's have a quick poke around and see if we can find anything of interest. We'll scan the camera around the corner of the next street. Yes, there's another historic house. Here we go. There's that beautiful house. And on the right here, we have, oh, that is cool. US Post Office, Staunton, Georgia from 1890 to 1923. Very cool. And across the road, another gorgeous historic house. That wraps it up for Staunton, Georgia. Just south of Staunton are the city limits of Lennox, Georgia, which I did know about. We're going to have a poke around this town for sure. On the right we have Jernigan's Country Restaurant, which is probably closed. There'd be the convenience store, the holiday market, the local shopping centre. There's an old diner, Subconscious, it's a cute name. Oh, look at that, there's the Lennox Festival every third weekend in November. Interesting old building here. Might have been a storefront at some point in time. It's completely boarded up now. Railway tracks, and we've got the main downtown of Lennox, however it's pronounced. If any locals watching, please advise me in a friendly manner how I should be pronouncing it. I'm guessing Lennox, but I'm always wrong with the Americana pronunciations. Here we have the local pharmacy and the City of Lennox Police Department and a barber shop and probably the fire station. The last time I was here, this road was not paved and that shop was open. So some things have changed since then, obviously. There you go, folks. I don't disappoint. Sparks city limits, a Purple Heart City. Let's have a quick look around and see what's inside town. Right now I'm on the edge of downtown Sparks, Georgia. Looks to be quite a few abandoned buildings. Well, on the right side we've got Sparks City Hall. That looks active, in the fire department. On the left, everything's out of business. There's an old hardware store. Maybe that supply company's still open, I don't know. And on the right side, continuing, all of these shops are out of business. It's a real shame. You always have to visit the water tower and get barked at by a bunch of dogs. It says, welcome to Sparks. Although these bloody dogs aren't too welcoming, are they? They probably need to go for a run. How's it going, boys and girls? Hey, behave yourselves. There. And, no surprise, on the left is a Dollar General. They seem to be in every single town. They know somebody. Post office, Sparks, Georgia, zip code 31647. In case you're wondering, trendsetters overseas, the zip code is the same as a postal code. In the States, they're usually 5 numbers long, and sometimes the postal service adds on an extra 4 numbers for some kind of addressing detail. I don't understand how that works. Local shops. There you go, the Dollar General. A great number of historic homes in this town. That house right there is $40,000 US. Now it likely needs a full resto, but if you like the country life, that's a good deal. There we are, back into the city of Adel, Georgia. On the right is a very rare sight, a Radio Shack. However, I think it's out of business. Yeah, it looks pretty empty. Anybody for the world famous Hunt Brothers Pizza? This is obviously a very popular local establishment. They're taking drive-through orders only and it's jammed. Good to see. There's the Cook County Courthouse. And I'm sure somewhere around here is the town hall. Ah, there we go, City Hall, and you'll find it eventually. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed my tour of southern Georgia and various towns. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos as they appear on the channel. I'll see you in the next video.